As the year draws to a close, we wanted to take a moment and just reflect on, quite honestly, what a pain in the ass 2021 has really been. I mean, from chicken wings to pickup trucks, the world we know it has changed, both for the good and for the bad. I mean, after all, Chick-fil-A lines are longer, but hey, Uber Eats doesn't charge $12.99 for a $6 meal anymore, so that's pretty cool. Other good news though, there's a silver lining when it comes to building your truck here in 2021, and especially if we look into 2022 when we talk about lift kits. I'm Dustin with the Custom Offsets, dusty.co on Instagram if that's your thing and you want to give me a follow. And you know, today's video is all about the best aftermarket truck suspension that you can get here in 2021 that's not just cool, it's not just flashy, right? But it's actually available to like buy and get it in the same month that you purchase it. Let's get into it. Now, before we get into which ones to buy, it's important to note why we even got here, right? Like why we're even talking about this in the first place. Drop a comment down below on what your biggest struggle has been when it comes to shipping delays here in 2021. Now, if you shopped for a lift kit over the last year or so, then you already know that getting parts was a bit of a struggle, to say the least, right? I mean, heck, even some of our very own truck builds took a lot longer than we had hoped to get parts in. I know this spring when we built my Duramax, we had a hell of a time getting the lift kit, and inevitably we ended up swapping out the rear shocks for a slightly different set that were the same size, and even with that, I still waited 8 weeks for that kit. It's just, we're not blaming the manufacturers here, right? But man, nobody knew how long it was gonna take to get things like oil and dampeners or even just raw aluminum. But even with all the hubbub that you're tired of hearing about, there are brands out there that manage to get through it all and come out of the other side a little like Ace Ventura, right? They're rough, but they're alive and they're ready to thrive here in 2022. Now, if you're looking to ring in the new year with a lift kit, there's a few things that you should keep in mind. Right off the bat is that while we all understand that we'd like to have options, you may have to be a little itty bitty bit flexible when it comes to what you're looking for in terms of a lift kit. While things in the supply chain have stabilized, there are definitely some brands out there that have some pretty long lead times still today. Never fear though, for all of those, there's still definitely some options that you can get readily available today. Plus, if you guys didn't know, we're actually stocking a ton of suspension products now, like a lot, like a whole wall in the warehouse from companies that you guys know and love. We've got stuff from companies like BDS and Rough Country and more on the shelf and are ready to go and ship to you guys, and we've made it staples button easy to find them on the website. All you gotta do is just enter your year, make, and model and then look for the big red quick delivery icon on the suspension pages. It's easy. Easy. With that being said, one of the best options for lift kits as we ring in good old 2022 here is Rough Country. Now, when it comes to bang for your buck in terms of lift kits, it doesn't get any better than Rough Country, just plain and simple, right? The truth of the matter is that if you're looking for a company with a ton of options, Rough Country is just it. Not only have they been in the market for a long time, but they also have lift kits for quite honestly and quite literally everything. We're talking your standard stuff like pickups, we're talking Jeeps, we're talking Tacomas, we're talking Hummers and International Scouts and the likes, and they're priced just super well to boot. Plus, their new V2 shocks ride great. The V2 is, you know, a little bit more expensive, but the aluminum body, valving, bushing ends, and seals are all of higher quality than the original N3 variant. Just a heads up here, you know, we think it's something that's worth it in the long run. If coilovers are your thing, Rough Country also has you covered here with the Vertex line of lift kits. These are gonna get you a whole coilover lift kit setup for less than some of the other spacer or drop bracket kits on the market. Hunter and Jeremy both had Vertex kits on their trucks, and I can say with confidence that for the money, the kits are just hard to beat. If you want some good information about Vertex kits and wonder if they're, you know, worth the money outside of the fancy little external reservoir you see in the wheel well, then buckle up, princess, it's about to get wild. The Vertex kits have a nitrogen-charged monotube shock design, which, you know, is a fancy way of saying that they just have one tube instead of two tubes that slide up inside of each other. And the external tank, while cool, also adds increased oil capacity. And now, that's cool for a couple of reasons, but the biggest one is that it allows for dampening sensitivity and more custom adjustments based on your truck and use case. The fact that Rough Country actually tunes their Vertex kits for each application is also super nice, and its huge 2.5-inch piston is pretty decent, honestly. Rough Country has managed to take a lot of their new technology and make it more available through its price point and, come out with some strong inventory to boot that makes us just confident in telling you guys that they are a brand to look for as you go into 2022. Now, let's say, for example, that you guys want something a little more premium though, right? Or maybe you're the type of guy who's regularly putting his truck through some serious abuse. Good news here is that BDS has some of the best lead times that we've seen in quite some time. If you're not familiar with the old BDS suspension kits, let me break it down for you really quick. Ask pretty much anyone who's ever lifted a truck before, and they're going to tell you that BDS is one of the biggest names in the lift kit game when it comes to quality, high-end lift kits, right? BDS was founded in 1996 when I was a strong 3 years old, by the way, and has been making lift kits for all the major trucks for literally 25 years now. It's scary to think that 1996 was 25 years ago when it feels like it was 10 years ago, but it also feels like it was 30 years ago. It's been a wild couple of years. They're gonna have products for pretty much every truck that you guys can think of, and also have a pretty wicked partnership with, a shock company that you guys may have heard of, Fox Shocks, meaning that you can get all of the BDS goodness of the lift kit plus the proven dependability of Fox Shocks. Again, here, if coilovers are your thing, then even better yet, BDS is one of the few companies that has a coilover conversion for a ton of trucks, including the IFS trucks like my Duramax. One of the coolest things about BDS suspension though is that they have this cool thing like a no fine print warranty, meaning that literally if you're the original purchaser of your lift kit and you happen to break something on the lift kit, BDS is going to replace the broken lift kit part, no questions asked. At one point they asked if we jumped the truck, and when I told them no, they said, no, we're not mad, we just want to see the video. So they really stand behind their product. Too bad the Raptor guy who broke the internet a few years ago who jumped his truck didn't have a BDS lift kit, right? I mean, it'd be pretty cool. Same pitch though, we're behind this brand here in 2022 and have been stalking them so you can snag a kit and get it to your door in as little as 10 days, guys. 10 days isn't that long. It's just over a week. That's not that long to wait for a lift kit. Fact of the matter here is that while it's a little bit more difficult to build a truck in 2022, it's definitely not impossible by any stretch of the word. If you're looking to be a little bit more price conscious, then hey, a Rough Country kit may be the one for you. If it's a warranty you're after because you jump your stuff on the regular, then BDS is the go-to here. Regardless of which one you choose though, the build will still go on here in the new year. On top of all that cool stuff about shocks and coilovers and no fine print warranties, the fact of the matter here is that if you're looking to do a build and wrap it up in any sort of reasonable time, then you're gonna wanna look for a lift kit that's actually in stock and ready to ship. After all, inventory is the name of the game this year. For these reasons, we're confident in saying that if you need a Rough Country or a BDS lift kit, right, either one, we've got you covered and can have it to your door in as little as 10 days with quick delivery, having you guys ready for show season instead of, watching from the sidelines. If you're down south, your show season really hasn't ended, so you're already behind, so you better get after it. BDS or Rough Country, which one are you guys choosing? Drop a comment down below and let us know. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to check out all the lift kits we've got for you guys at customoffsets.com. With that, I'm Dustin with Custom Offsets. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Yo!